you might be a little bit of lipstick.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, great. Great.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, we're serial knitters,
Yes, I'm Coco.
and I'm Marika. Guess I did that backwards.
It's fine.
So today,
We're
Sip
drinking-
Sip Knit,
Yeah.
we're doing Pool Boy again, because I couldn't get my shit together this week.
It's a repeat.
Yeah.
A good rosé
Mm-hmm.
is fine.
Considering it's been open in the fridge for 2 weeks, tastes fine. Or I just don't know wine at all.
I thought you got a new one.
No, this is the one
same
same
bottle?
one
Okay.
from episode 4.
Great.
Yeah.
So I've decided the theme of this one
Mm-hmm.
is blush and bashful. My colors
Yeah.
are blush and bashful. Her colors are pink and pink.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's the theme of this week.
Yeah.
So we get straight into it?
Sure.
Straight into the knits.
Yeah. So I have no finished objects
Finished?
yet again.
Nothing?
One was the balloon cardigan I was supposed to finish, but I ran out of yarn on the last sleeve, so I can show you where I am right now.
I feel like you're psyching me out with your shirt today. I was like, oh, did you finish something that I've never seen before?
No, I just got this at H&M like 10 years ago, and it was so hot today, I was like, I cannot stand to wear a real shirt, so pulled
Fake
this
shirt.
one out.
Fake shirt the whole way.
Just a hint of a shirt. This is where I am at with the balloon cardigan. So you can see it's just this last little bit.
Oh, you're almost there.
I was so close. So I had to order another ball. So this is 10 balls so far.
So we're going on.
So I had to order an 11.
Oh.
And
Which size did you knit?
I feel like I probably did the extra large because it's a petite knit pattern, and her sizes tend to be quite petite, which I am not. So I thought I had enough, and then just kind of got to the last little bit, and then realized I was going to be short. So I'm just waiting. I ended up ordering it from a company in the UK called Laughing Hens, I think.
Oh.
Because oddly enough, it was the cheapest cost for the yarn and the cheapest shipping. So it was cheaper than like Love Knitting or Knit Picks or any place like that. Which, like, if you order a lot of stuff, knitting's free. Yeah, you can always knit for free. Shipping's free. But if you order one thing, then you end up sometimes paying more in shipping than you do for the actual yarn.
Yeah.
So.
It's always a problem. I
Yeah.
spent weeks trying to decide if I was going to purchase this Purl Soho lantern on the website, pay for shipping, or if I was going to be able to get down. They have a warehouse in Orange County, but it's only open weird hours during the week, and realized I'm never going to get there.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen, so I had to pay for the shipping. But it's such a weird, like, barrier mentally. You're like, if I have to pay for shipping, you don't want to do it. But you get over it, and now you're almost there. You're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Maybe by the next time.
Yeah, I think they said it shipped this week. It'll take 7 to 9 days to get here. So hopefully, we're filming every 2 weeks or so. It'll be done by the next time.
Yeah.
Everything else is good to go. So I'll probably I've been avoiding weaving in the ends, but I should probably just go ahead and do that. So
while
that
you were waiting,
when that sleeve's done, it's just bind it off. We're good to go.
Yeah. I did similar thing. Well, I'll show you my work in progress, but similarly.
But you finished.
Oh, sure. I finished the Anker's summer shirt. Argus always is really jazzed. Every time I show a finished Argus, or a finished project, Argus comes over and he's like, yes. So I finished the Anker's summer shirt. Here it is. It is blown out by the camera, so I have to turn this way so you can see the details.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's a nice.
I have a lot of dog interruptions this one.
It is thicker than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't drape down as much after I blocked it as I expected it to.
Did it plump up a little bit when you blocked it?
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
It's not sheer,
Mm-hmm.
which I think we were a little concerned about that it would end up being sheer.
Yeah.
It's that's funny. On the camera, it causes some moire, which is when
Oh yeah,
things
little dancing
go
happening.
Yeah, when things go crazy on the screen because of a pattern, a heavy pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of funny. I didn't know I was gonna do that. But I like it. I think it's gonna be a great like shirt I can wear to work
Mm-hmm.
and look like a professional instead
Yeah.
of looking like a child.
It's very clean,
Yeah.
but
like,
with some interesting details.
yeah, I just wanted to take on a white t-shirt that wouldn't be a white t-shirt. So I'm really happy with it, but as we discussed last time, the pattern was a little vague. I don't think it caused any issues, but like my raglan I think is wrong, and I knit it short again because I thought it was going to drape more, and it turns out it didn't. So it's a little short. I have to wear it with like high-waisted pants, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
turned out really nice. And
I'm
is it
pleased.
cool? Like, how is it temperature-wise? Because I know, like, you chose this yarn because it was cotton mostly,
Yeah.
cotton linen,
Yeah.
and so you wanted a summer. Does it feel
It's
summery?
it's a good summery. It's kind of heavier than the straight linens, but it's still good for summer. What I like about it is that it is thicker, and so it's more wearable for work. Like, it seems a little more formal and put together versus if it were super drapey, then you might feel like you're, kind of in your pajamas. But I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm always happy with anything I finish, I guess.
Yeah.
Every time I think about what I'm going to say, I'm always like, I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah.
Just because I'm pleased it's done. So,
You're just like, yeah, I get to wear it.
pretty much. So, yeah, we talked about it before. It's a 1x1 rib during this whole section, and then it's straight stockinette all the way down. So, really fast. It could have been done in half the time had I properly planned out what I was going to knit while I was in the store and bought the right amount of yarn instead of just buying what I thought would make a shirt, and then I ended up a little bit short. So,
But you got there in the end.
I got there in the end. I'm really happy with it. Pleased as punch. So, there's that.
Yeah. Oh, so other finished objects. This guy's been in the background a lot, and I've never talked about it. But I made this for Halloween last year. It's gonna be too big for the screen. But it's I just scoot down on the couch so you can see it. It's not attractive. Yeah. Okay. You get the idea.
Doing that Pilates roll up.
Yeah. That I struggle with all the time. Yeah, so I made this hat to be Louise from Bob's Burgers for Halloween last year. And it's kind of I based it off of a...
I'll hold it for you.
Okay.
Fix your hair.
I based it off of a bonnet I found, a bonnet pattern, which we'll link below and probably put a picture of the original one somewhere in here. And then I just read about this stitch, which I'm also
Quite
gonna
dense.
have to look up. Yeah, I just had this really thick pink yarn that I think I got on clearance at Joann's for like 75 cents a ball, and I had like a couple balls, so I was like, what can I make out of it? And then I was like, oh, this would be good for Louise. Yeah, so I just kind of used the basic pattern of the bonnet to make the base, and then improvised the ears, and then there's thick floral wire that the ears are sewn to make them stand up. And you can also, bend them too if you want.
Oh, this is so cute.
So yeah, I don't get many opportunities to wear it other than Halloween, but
Yeah, it would be hard to work into an everyday wardrobe. Or you'd have to be a special,
unless I was an 8-year-old girl,
right?
like Louise. But yeah, so it was a fun project. It took me, maybe a weekend or something to do it.
Have you put this one on Ravelry yet?
I have not. I need to photograph it. I don't have a wig head, and so it's just been sitting on top of a roll of paper towels instead of a wig head. But maybe I'll just take a picture
of yourself wearing it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was fun. Just a little.
This is great. I feel like if you were to put the details of how you made this, that would be very helpful to people, because a lot of people like to be her.
Mm-hmm.
And that the costumes that you buy,
yeah, a lot
can
of
be more expensive than like.
Yeah, and when I was looking online for like how to make a Louise hat or just Louise hats in general, a lot of people kind of make them out of felt or something, or fleece or something like that. And so I wanted something that had a little more structure to it, so like, and a little more texture. So that's why I went with this guy.
Cool.
But yeah.
So are you gonna be Cardigan for Halloween?
I don't know. Probably, because I probably won't have time to do the costume I really want to do.
The Batman thing?
Yeah, Batwoman.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's.
So I guess well, you kind of already started the work in progress things, but I'll just quickly talk about mine because I don't really have that much this time. Oh shoot, I can't even remember the name of it.
Do you want me to cut?
I didn't have my research done. 1 second. I am working on Callion by Samantha Stater. And it is my first somewhat successful lace work. Argus thinks that it's worth celebrating. Also, you'll see here at the bottom
your lovely stitch marker.
At one point, I was at work and I didn't have any stitch markers, and I thought, oh, I'll just use safety pin. No, wait, what are they called?
Paper clips.
Paper clips. It's my safety pins. I grabbed 100 pack of, basic safety clips. No.
Safety. No, paper clips.
Paper clips. I grabbed paper clips, and now I can't break the habit. Now I'm like, oh, this stuff is cheap, and it's just the most.
You have limitless stitch counter.
It's so bootleg. Like, I don't recommend this look to anybody else, but look at that. Okay, so to the pattern. It is a tank that has a split back, and this is the Coboo twig that I've just been talking about. And it has a split back. So here, there's the split, and then lace work in the back. And we'll pop a picture of the finished pattern. And she did it in a color that's largely the same as this, and I just decided I'm gonna bite that whole style and do it in pretty much the same color, but I think it's gonna turn out really nicely. Okay, so the main thing about this project is I've got some kind of yarn gnomes in my house, and they are stealing balls of yarn, because I swear I thought I bought 3 of these and 4 in a purple. Great sale when I got them. But then I couldn't find, for a while, we were dealing with the drama that I could not find the 4th purple one, but I had all 3 of these accounted for, or so I thought. Then I cast this on. Now I'm missing the 3rd one of these. I have ransacked the entire house. I've taken it apart. I've put it back together. I've reorganized everything, and cannot find the 3rd skein of this. So then, drama, had to order a new one, which I've been sitting on for weeks because I've been like, no, as soon as I order it, it's gonna show up. And finally, even my husband, who is very thrifty and is like, you should never spend more than you absolutely have to, was like, I can't hear you talk about this anymore. Why don't you just go ahead and order that yarn? So I did. And now I'm waiting for it to come in. I literally have knit every single inch I can possibly knit, because there's only like this much left right here. And now it's just waiting for it to come in, and I'm sure when it comes in, the other one will show up, and I'll have a full-blown panic attack, because I'll be like, why did this have to happen to me? And where are those gnomes? But I don't know.
We could always return the one you ordered, right?
if it shows up in time.
If it shows up in time, yeah.
You know what'll happen? I'll finish the shirt.
And then it'll show up.
I'll probably finish the shirt too short, like I do everything, and just pray it'll block out, but it won't. Anyways, okay, now, to the pattern. Not about the drama. This, I have to say, is knit in kind of a time, not, like, you need some patience, because you have to knit down this side, you break off. Down this side, you break off. Then you do down this side, you break off. Then you do down this side, and then you get to put everything together. But through the course of that, there's a lot of weaving in ends that I still need to do, and it's knit flat because it has that split back. But the lace work is very easy. I have tried to do lace work in the past. I was trying to knit a scarf for my mom, or not a scarf, a shawl for my mom. Got totally lost. Could not figure out how to follow the chart. And so I was a little bit nervous. Ever since then, I haven't even attempted a lace pattern because I was like, it was such a struggle for me. So I was a little apprehensive, but the pattern was very clear, or something about, maybe I'm just like, I've gotten better. Something happened and it clicked, and I'm really pleased with it. I can't wait to see how it's going to look when it all blocks out. And I'm super excited about the color. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice color.
So I'm knitting, like I said, I'm knitting this one in Shabooey Twig, and this is the brick color. So the poppy is discontinued, which is also a very pretty orange. That would have been a great color, but this apparently is brick. So exciting.
Nice.
I think this will be done by next time.
All right.
As long as the yarn comes in. So that is one of my work in progresses. And then the other one is a bit of a problem, as we're prone to have in my universe. So, and then we're going to talk about some things my husband has been doing, which is very exciting. So I am working on the Coffee Talk sock. I think I showed this, the second one, and I showed this last time. And here is the big problem. I think I said last time that I wasn't sure what I knit this on. I didn't check my Ravelry page, and if you have checked my Ravelry page, you'll know that I don't do a good job over there. I don't have good note-taking, which is probably why we started this podcast, because I'm so bad at it that I was like, we need some kind of record, because I'm not filling in the form properly, basically. So I didn't know what I had knit this on, and I didn't cross-check. I just went ahead and cast on.
And what you're knitting the second sock on, is that what the pattern calls for?
Yes.
And so the first sock was knit in something different than the pattern?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you can tell, but this sock is a full, see here, I've got like a full finger on this side and a full finger on this side. It's whatever the proper measurement for that is. It is 2 full fingers thinner than the first sock, which means this gauge is way off. I mean, you can totally tell. Look at that. How small it is and how much tighter it is.
Yeah.
So, either I'm going to have a super tight sock, because this one fits kind of well. So I'm either going to have a super tight sock, or I'm going to have to rip back, try again with a different size needle. But it does make me think possibly I've been knitting all of my socks with too big of a needle, because I'm so far off of pattern. I don't know. I need to check the swatch. I need to get investigating into this. And I'm so far down now. I'm almost like, is this worth going back? What if one of them is too tight?
Well, the question is like, so if you continue with this one the way it's going, are you ever gonna wear these?
Oh yeah, because they're not just. It's not just that it's gonna be too like tight in circumference. It's also gonna end up significantly shorter than the other one.
Why? Because if you follow the pattern and your gauge is off, you're not just gonna knit till it matches this one.
I need to rip it out. That's it. I can't salvage it, and I'm so mad about it, and it's just... Let that be a lesson to take good records, and maybe knit 2 at a time, because that is definitely an issue.
Knit them back to back.
Or knit them back to back. Don't wait 8 months between knitting the first one to knitting the second one.
Yeah.
And just quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Also, so my husband has gotten into leatherworking. Mm-hmm. So he was trying to come up with projects he could do with said leatherworking, and I was like, oh, you can make me a little holder to put my double-pointed needles in, or just to hold my socks while I'm knitting them. So that's what he did. It's got little snaps, and it's that's what it looks like. And he just sewed it down the sides. Mm-hmm. This is just, he gets scrap stuff because he's, still working on, he's still learning the techniques and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it was just a quick little thing that he did, and he made one that was significantly shorter. Mm-hmm. So this would probably work if I was doing magic loop, because it's got a little bit of space here at the top, and I could run the cord through this side and then put the needles through that side. But super excited about these and his new little hobby, because it's totally working out for me.
Yeah.
It's fabulous. What do you got there?
So my main work in progress at the moment, I talked about it last time, but didn't have anything to show for it, is the LANGE Loan. I've been saying it Lang Long, and that's not what it is. It's Loan, L-O-N-E, by Brosbøl Henriksen.
Brosbøl Henriksen.
Yeah, B-R-O umlaut L, I think. Or O with like a little slash through it. Henriksen. So the pattern's not...
Norwegian?
I think so. Norwegian or Danish, one of the two.
Okay.
And the pattern's not on Ravelry. It's just through her website. Mm-hmm. But I linked to it in... it's on my projects page on Ravelry, and the link to the pattern is in the notes.
You're doing such a better job.
Well, because I only have like 6 projects, so it's not like it's a whole lot to manage. You have a lot more projects than I do.
I put 3 new ones on, and pretty much everything I've done in the past, it's gonna be like, here's the final thing. I don't remember any of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be better.
I did update all of the pictures this weekend for all of my finished objects.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so this one will hopefully be a finished object soon. So it's made out of Coboo, which is a Lion brand yarn. It's 50% cotton, 50% rayon from bamboo. And it's really soft and drapey. And this is where I'm at the moment. Let's see if I can.
Okay, look, you're almost done.
Yeah. So you knit the back and the front flat, and then you go back and pick up the neck stitches, and then I'll also have to pick up the arms and finish that with a rib as well. Mm-hmm. And then the neck has this nice detail where this is where all the decreases happen, and you slip. It's like a mini cable kind of thing where you slip the stitches and you keep this knit in front, and then you knit 3 together to get the V decrease in this knit detail.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, so it's all, just garter stitch and drop stitches. But I thought it'd be a nice summer shirt, very open and airy. And I don't really have anything that's this color.
Except for what you're wearing?
Except for what I'm wearing. Yeah, it's just a variation on what I have on.
Yeah, you're pretty much like remaking that shirt in a deeper, more blush color.
Yeah, and a more breathable color.
Look, all of our colors were like pink, 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 and then I had a red.
Yeah. So, pink, the summer of color.
Yeah, we're just feeling it.
But yeah, so
They say this is like millennial pink.
Oh, is it?
It's
called Mauve.
Okay.
That's the Coboo color for it. So yeah, I'm about a little past halfway on this. This is supposed to finish out at like 6 centimeters.
You were worried that it was going to. Well, no, you weren't worried that it was going to be short. But once you finished the body, it was deceiving how far you were going to have to go to get up to the shoulder. Added so much more length to it.
Yeah, and then when I tried it on, because you obviously sew the pieces together before you pick up the stitches for the neck, and so I tried it on after I sewed the front and back together, and I was like, we'll see, but I feel like the rib here really kind of is crucial to the structure of the shirt, so that it's not just this like giant sack that's hanging off of you. So yeah, I think it'll turn out well, and then I just have to figure out some outfits to wear it with. I think my vision for it is to get like a cobalt blue bralette to wear underneath it, and then the fabric that's behind me there, I bought that to make kind of like a T-length skirt out of, and I don't know, I think it might go with that. Maybe it's a little too pastel on pastel, but we'll see.
You're definitely getting a chance here to like preview it.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it could work.
Are you looking through this shirt?
Yeah. Let's go for it. I can see through it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So that's my work in progress, and should be, I don't know, maybe I'll finish it tonight, or at least by next weekend, I think. Yeah.
So we'll get to see you in that.
Yeah, and then when I knew I wanted to make this shirt, but I wasn't sure what color to make it out of, because like I couldn't see the colors in person, and online, it's kind of hard to judge colors.
Yeah.
And so I bought 2 colors of the Coboo. I bought the silver and I bought the mauve.
Do you have the silver?
I do. Let me grab that. So this is the silver. And I think what I'm gonna do is make the 2 of Wands, her sunset ringer tee. I'm gonna use this as the base of the shirt, and then I should have enough of the mauve left over to do the accent cuffs and collar. So that's the plan with this, because I got there's a really good sale on Lion Brand, so I got 4 of these and 4 of the mauve, and it only took, I'm on the 4th one for the LANGE loan right now, but I just started it, so I've got, this is what I have left.
Yeah, significant.
So I've got plenty, yeah. So I think I got all 8 of them for $35 total, including shipping. Nice. So get 2 basically $15 shirts out of it, which I feel like I'm very happy about that.
Yes.
Considering having to go 11 balls deep on the balloon cardigan.
We are adults. It's a 6th grade joke for you right there.
I feel like knitting just is so ripe for it. Like, the fact that there's a fingering weight is
we don't have to go into it. I mean, we all know. But we all try tonight.
Try and be more mature than I am about it.
Disassociate yourself from these issues.
Okay, sorry.
In other news. Was that all you were gonna say about?
I think I'm done. I think I'm done on that one.
Okay, great. We'll just do a quick one other thing that the leatherworking has given me.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful.
Oh my god.
Da-da-da-da.
Yes, he made a little armlet bag. So again, this is like scrap yarn or scrap leather that he got from this like crazy shop that they have somewhere in downtown or near downtown. I don't know.
Sure.
But
it's like beautiful leather too. Like it's so soft. It's really nice.
It's great. But it's got these little snaps on the top, so it can open up, and then you can, you know, fully stock whatever's in here. It's really like a one skein situation. I had my Callion in it, and it was like it could just fit if I stuffed it all in there. And it's linen, so it can kind of work, but it's more like a sock or something like that. So I am swatching. Sorry, it's like this is the tiniest thing. I just started this morning, but I'm swatching for, if you can kind of see it, for the bag and one of the pom-poms. So sometimes I think I knit the same things over and over, or like I'm always sourcing from the same type of things. Like it's really nice that you found a pattern that's not on Ravelry. You know, it's one that like not a lot of people have knit, so I think you're always really good about doing things like that, and I'm not. I just do whatever's popular because I just want it to work out. Like I think you pointed out, I'm kind of like a what do they say? You can be a process knitter or a project knitter. I think I'm a project knitter. Like I want the finished project. So I really like prefer ones that I feel like people have done a whole bunch of times and tested. The like doing one that there isn't a lot of details on really freaks me out.
There's a lot. The outcome is could be quite variable or undetermined.
Yeah, suspect is like what I like to say. It's very suspect. So anyways, from this from this
on theme with the pink.
Just can't get away from it. I mean, I wasn't gonna be the one who got us away from it, so you know.
I just gave in.
Yeah, you gave in.
Yeah.
But from this, why do I keep wanting to say episode? My mind is all jumbled today. This issue of Pom Pom. There is a bag.
Lots of pink in there. Super pink there.
Lots of pink in this. This one. I'll put a better picture in here. But the Minton bag. So it is 12 granny squares-esque. 12 squares, and then you knit the band for the thing. And I had a bunch of yarn left over from the Herrera that I knit because now I'm afraid I keep running out of yarn, so now I'm overbuying, which is like not a great thing to do either. But I had a couple extra skeins of every color, so I'm gonna try to do this one in navy on the bottom, and then the band will be in the mist color that I have extra of. It's kind of fun. I just started it, so it's very new to me, but I have never crocheted a pattern that I wasn't watching a YouTube tutorial on how to do. So this is the first time I'm trying to do it from the written instructions, and I feel like Cameron reading wiring diagrams while trying to rebuild scooters and cars. That's what my husband also does. And in addition to the leather working, he likes to rebuild Vespas, and he's got an old car. So he always brings out these diagrams that show you all the wires in the car, and that's how I feel right now. It feels a little bit like I don't understand how this is gonna work. I'm not exactly sure where I'm placing the stitches is correct. So I'm definitely going to treat one of these squares as a swatch and see how it goes in order to figure out if I did it all right. I very much feel like I'm not doing it all right to start with, and then we'll see how it ends up. But it's it feels like an easy thing to use some scrap yarn, or not really scrap, but kind of like the extra stuff I don't really know what to do with, which has been a little bit of my concern. So that's what's inside of this bag right now. And I have a dog. His name is Gordon. He is a Corgi Thai mix. It's this specific Thai dog they don't have here in the U.S. And he pulls crazy on the leash. So I bought this waist leash that straps around your waist and you don't have to use your hands. So I'm kind of planning to walk around a lot with Gordon pulling me, and I will be crocheting little granny squares.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes. He's kind of like a little sled dog. He's only 40 pounds, but it's all muscle. The whole thing. So I'm super excited about this. Oh, so what I was saying was that for the wrist bag, Cameron didn't know what to make next, so I'm kind of angling for him to make me a bigger one. So like 2 skeins maybe. Very excited. We'll see. He didn't mind the idea of it. And then I was like, oh, you can make me like a double pointed like tool roll basically, because he was trying to make a knife roll for himself. But we'll see. It's very exciting. So much to do. So that's it for me. What are you? Anything else? What else are you planning?
I think that's it for me as well. Yeah, just the sunset ringer tee. And then...
Are you going to cast that on next? Or what? Like, are you going to cast on the as if tee? Like, you have so many things in the queue.
I still have the as if tee. And then I still have to finish my Valentine sweater. I think maybe making some more progress on that one. I'm a little concerned that I didn't do the right gauge on it. So I need to go back and double check that, and then see if I need to rip it all out and start again.
That would be a much larger issue than my sock, which I'm already upset about.
Yeah, because I'm 2 skeins into the sweater already. So, I mean, it's not crazy.
I thought you were further into it than that, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, I think that's only 2. But and it's not like it's a crazy pattern or anything like that. It's just a rib and then stockinette. So since it's bottom up, all the interest is around the neckline. So nothing crazy's happened yet. So it wouldn't be the worst of things. It'd just be a pain in the ass.
Okay, so that's great.
Yeah.
Well, are you gonna cast on the sunset tee next?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do the sunset tee next or if I'll do as if.
You kind of didn't really talk about it, but you're really liking this Coboo.
Yeah, the Coboo is really nice. Like, it's just got, I like it a lot. It's just got, like, you can kind of see how drapey it is. And it's
super soft, right?
It's really soft, yeah. And it's, I'm pretty sure it's machine washable. Yep, machine washable and dryable. So, because one of the things is, like, I have a bunch of hand wash sweaters already that are commercially produced that I hate hand washing.
So you don't wear them, so you don't have to hand wash them?
So I don't have to hand wash them, yeah. Or I wear them, and then it gets to the point where I need to wash them, and then they just sit in a bag waiting to be hand washed for months at a time. And so I'm realizing as I knit more and more things that more and more of my wardrobe is becoming that way. And so I either have to just come to terms with I'm going to have to hand wash stuff on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, or I need to be more proactive in my yarn choices about what making more yarn choices that are things that are machine washable, at least.
Yeah. Not
necessarily dry. They don't need to be dryable. I can still hang things up, but
yeah,
sitting there with a bucket.
Sitting there with a bucket. So I made a lot of purchases.
Do you want to talk about your?
Well, I'm only gonna say that my inability to make decisions in a timely manner really messed me up this past couple of weeks. So I think everybody knows at the end of July there were, well, I guess during the entire month of July. So this means this was a 31-day issue. During the entire month of July, there were a lot of sales going on at various websites for yarn. And I feel like I spent all 31 days pretty much like double checking Ravelry and putting things in carts and then letting those carts time out because I just wasn't sure if I wanted to buy them or not. And it all led to not only missing out on all of those sales, then there was a worsted and DK weight sale that happened after those at the very beginning of August. That I also, like, I made some great decisions. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get one sweater in linen, one sweater in a merino. So sweater quantities of all of these things, a couple cottons. Like, I was really excited about what I was gonna try out. Deep discount, everything was like $30-esque for a sweater. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be great. I'm just gonna sleep on it. Woke up the next morning, sale was over. Everything's full price.
August 1st.
It was one of those moments where I realized, like, this is becoming more of a hindrance to you than a good thing. Like, maybe you can overplan. Maybe you can be too cautious. And how to rethink everything.
But I feel like it's something that's kind of like developed over time for you, because it used to be you would just kind of like, I'll buy this skein, I like this skein, you know,
right?
Like, I like these things, let me get them and I'll figure out projects for them.
And I ended up with, and I still have in my house, one skein of so many different colors, so many different types of yarn that I cannot figure out what to do with.
Yeah, and so I think you overcorrected in the other way, and now it's like I can only buy something if I have the full project in mind. Yeah. And I can purchase everything at once.
And then I get the full project in mind and forget about it. And then, because I didn't make a note, because I didn't write it down, because I didn't take that extra step to be like, what if we just decided here? And then I step away, and then I come back, and I cannot remember, why did I put this in my cart? Why am I trying to buy this? And then I let it time out, because I'm like, now I have to go do all of that research again to figure out what I'm supposed to do. So, in light of that, I'm attempting to be more proactive. And I have a little note section where in my phone and on my iPad, and I'm going to try to write these things down, like yarns that I think I want to try in the future from all this research that just went to waste. And you know, yarns that I think would be appropriate for a project in the future, which I know in Ravelry you can add things to your queue and then put with it the type of yarn that you are intending to use for it. So what happened was, when I finally made my choices and I was showing Marika what I had done, she was like, oh, and what project is that for? And I was like, uh-oh. So then I had to, you know, go back on the research, and at that point I was like, this is too much. I basically was looking at the project over and over again, taking so much time. So I finally, like, put in my queue. This is the project. This is the yarn that I intend for this project. And when it comes in, if I make a different decision, at least I have that notated. But it was full on ridiculous how much time I was spending, which I don't think you saw, because I was doing it all on my own. But we're talking hours double checking Ravelry versus the yarn that I wanted to pick versus, like, how much was it gonna be. And it was just too much. So all of this is to say, I need to take better notes. And well, and I'm always also interested to hear how other people, like, manage this, and
because there's a lot of different factors, you know. Like if you want, you know, especially with some of these patterns, the yarns aren't the most affordable or the most practical, you know. So, like, as we always say, it's always hot here, and because we live in LA,
really hot today, by the way.
And so a lot of these heavier sweaters that we really love, you know, it's not necessarily practical to make it out of the recommended yarn. And so it's like finding cotton or linen or some sort of blended alternative to make it a more wearable sweater where we live. And then, so there's that factor. Then there's, you know, if you want to try a different color, there's that factor.
Right. The color combinations, like
the sizing, you know, like there's just a lot of different factors to deal with. And so I think it's like, it's good that you're taking the time and you're being thorough about it, you know. But then at the same time, it's like, sometimes it's like, the other day I was looking at making the Nightingale sweater, which is another pom-pom pattern, and it's a worsted weight yarn.
And you've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah, basically when I initially saw the sweater, I was like, I'm going to make that. And then I've kind of been mulling it over because it is worsted weight. It's a lot of cabling, so it's going to be a really thick sweater, and it just doesn't seem practical. So I found a worsted weight cotton by Wool and the Gang that I want to use. But now it's like, okay, I did the math. I need 13 balls of this, which are like $13 each. So it's like, do I really want to drop $170 to make this sweater?
Yeah.
Not really.
Right. So now you have to wait around for a sale, but you also like need at least one to test your idea
to make sure it's even gonna work.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so I buy one ball and then it doesn't work, and then it's like, okay, great, what do I do with that?
With that one ball.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of variables and a lot of factors to try and weigh that, so I totally feel your pain.
Yeah. But I feel like I need to get a rein on this because it does take up a lot of my like mental energy trying to figure out like, I definitely want a new project as soon as I'm done with a project. But that usually leads to me like wandering around my house in a blanket, just like pulling all of the yarns out and trying to figure out what's going to work. And like I said, a lot of the things I have in my stash right now are just like one skein that doesn't match anything else that I didn't have a plan for, and I've gotten really like more passionate about garment knitting, and one skein is not going to get you a garment. And like you said, I knit shawls and I never wear them, so I can always find a couple to put together to make a shawl, but then I'm like, am I making something that I'm ultimately not gonna wear ever? And it's such an investment, so anyways, there's just too much anxiety I think right now around my hobby that I'm doing to avoid like the news and all of that anxiety. So it's just, anyways, I need to get it together. I'm glad it cut me off because that was just gonna be a full-on like therapy session, emotional moment. But yes, I have a lot of things coming in the mail.
Got a lot of things queued up.
And now they have a plan, and hopefully it'll all work out. But yeah, so now I'm just waiting on the postman because I've got the twig I'm waiting on, a couple different linen tops that I'm going to be trying to work up, and yeah, I am really embracing, I think, so there's this DWJ, she's a professor and a knitter, and she's just started a podcast, and her podcasts are very snackable. They're like a very nice 30 minutes on one topic, maybe even 15, like very watchable. But she lives in Maryland, and she knits a lot of things in cotton, and I really like love seeing her stuff because I like the embrace of cotton and like non super woolly yarns, because I run hot as a person. I have a lot of hair and I just naturally run hot. So it was kind of like she was giving me permission to be like, no, you don't have to knit everything out of like merino wool. Although I love it and I love hand-dyed merino wool, it's just that in this climate it really limits you on when you can wear it and when you can't. So
yeah, and
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and I have a mild wool allergy, so like I have to be really careful. Like if it's a tight cuff or a tight collar, like I just can't do it out of wool because I'll get hives all across. So it's nice that there's more options in terms of cotton and linen and more colors now too, because I think maybe it's just that I'm looking for them now, but it felt like it was kind of a little limited when I first started, and now I'm starting to see like some really cool, bright, fun colors. Yeah,
and I'm looking more for people who are hand dyeing cottons and linens, and it is a small group of people, but I'm like super excited about that because I just feel like it's going to be more wearable.
Yeah.
But your point about trying to find things that are not hand wash is well taken, because when I showed her my cart, she was like, oh, your entire wardrobe is going to be hand washed. And I was like, oh. But
Yeah.
Sorry. It's my addiction.
Well, and you had talked too about buying just like a white cotton and then potentially dyeing it yourself.
Yeah. We'll see if I actually end up doing that. Yeah.
Which could lead to some fun things. You know, you could do some fun dip dyeing, things like that.
Yeah. We'll see. Clearly, my level of anxiety doesn't sound like it's going to be well suited to that kind of stuff. And I don't know what it is. Or like why it's happening right now. But for some reason, I'm just like, they've all got to be winners. And the ones that aren't are really weighing on me right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's just like you spend so much time and energy and money on these garments and these projects that it's like when it doesn't come out the way you want, or it's a big letdown.
Yeah.
You're like, why did I spend 2 weeks up to months on this thing and hundreds of dollars for something that I'm never gonna wear or use?
I think it's left over from that Ruth Bader Ginsburg notorious whatever RBG. I think I was so sad about how like my sizing was off that I think it's residual. Now that I think back, I think that's when it started, and I was like, I didn't enjoy the yarn choice. It was so itchy, and then the sizing didn't come out, and I wasn't very meticulous about the pattern, which we all know is going to happen in the future with me. And it just all went wrong, and since then it's been very like, I don't know, anxiety ridden as to like, is this going to work out or is this not? So I'm going to try to work on that and try to get over it. Thank you for coming to this therapy session. I don't think we have anything else, but I'm very excited about this one. I think it worked out, so hopefully this like settles in the next week or two and like calms me down, because it's just a mess.
Yeah. Are you gonna do the elastic in the neckline that she talked about?
Well, I'm gonna see how it wears.
Okay.
Because she was saying that in the yarn she chose that it kind of like stretched out throughout the course of the day, but because this one didn't really block out as much as I expected it to, I am wondering if it's not gonna wear the same way that hers did. So for now, I'm just gonna let it see how it settles. I literally just pulled it off the blocking mat like right before I came here. Not to talk about Cameron again, but my husband has this big fan that he uses in his workout area, and it is ridiculous. It's like, it's almost like one of those big gym fans. It sounds like it is. It's called the Tornado or something like that. But I put it on this knit, and I was like, please just finish drying before I have to leave. And the fan is so loud and huge that like my dog won't walk into the room when it's running. It's too much. So, but that is how fresh this is from the blocking mat. Like, I just pulled it off before I came here. So we'll see how it wears. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it is a good knit, and hopefully it calms me down. Okay, so we're done. I finished all that pull boy. I'm ready for a refill.
Me too. I don't think there is anymore. That was the last one.
No.
We killed it.
What?
But, well, maybe we'll have a real cocktail next time.
Some gin.
More gin.
That'd be great.
All right.
So, cheers. Empty-handed cheers.
Yeah. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting. Please don't have as much anxiety about your knitting as I do. Okay, bye.
Bye.